Hi there, this is Sarah. Today I will take you through to BREWare, which is the industry software solution for brewery. Today we will discuss how the BREWare software suite helps with brewery production, distribution, retailing, sales, purchase. If you see over here, the brewery industry software by Business Pointers helps you streamline the entire brewery production to distribution operations. You can manage hops inventory and incoming purchase order. You can manage brewery production process from boiling, mashing, fermentation, filtering, and bottling. You should be able to manage beer distribution process for all distributors. The industry-specific functionality helps you to manage seasonal product offering, returns and empties, handle bottle returns and spoilage, and you should be able to integrate financial and accounting data real time. How does this work? I'll show you in the next slides. Now this is inventory management. This is complete receipt to issue cycle. So the BREWare combines real-time inventory level reviews. So basically, the inventory stored in all the different at all different storage locations is being evaluated by the software, and it will give you a real-time stock availability in each of those warehouses. The inventory can also be checked on the basis of batches. So batch management is a feature wherein you can help which helps you to manage your inventory batch wise. You can manage inventory levels by tank, by warehouse, by storage location, so you know always what's available. This is what an inventory module page would look like. So this will have your administration setup, your vendor masters, customer masters, your item master, stock management, item movement from one place to another, from one warehouse to another, or from one location to another. Item movement is managed by two documents, which is item receipt and item issue documents. Then we have inventory valuation method. So that's first in, first out, first expiry, first out, last in, first out. How do you manage your inventory? So you have the price list, the pick and pack manager, reports, and dashboards. So if you see over here, this is what an item master list view would look like. User can search for items in the item master and then also add items. So here you should be able to search through the search item. There are different search criteria. You can search by item name, item type, item code, item group, vendor, and the status if it's active or in an active item. It also gives you the available quantity and the price. So this is an item master basically. Next, we have the detailed view of the item master. So this has different types of uh, detailed for like it's a detailed information for all items. For every item you can store in here like the raw materials, the finished products, the semi-finished products can be maintained in the item master with each minute detail. Then we have the vendor master. So the vendor master helps you to store details related to all your vendors, including the payment details, the bank details, the address details, the finance integration. Then you can attach different files. You can define user defined field. So user defined field helps you to define your vendor more precisely. So you can add your own user defined fields if you want to add any. Then this is a vendor master list view wherein you can find the details of all your vendors at one place, and you can also perform a grid search. A grid search is on all the documents in the software wherein you should be able to do a quick search of all your items or records. Then we have inventory management. So this is the vendor catalog. This is how you can manage different types of vendors. So which vendor is selling what? One vendor can sell multiple items. So that can be managed over here with the vendor catalogs. Then we have the customer master. Like that of the vendor master, we have customer master, wherein you can save the details of all your customers over here. So related to the account, address, the contact person, the finance details, the order details. So what orders the customer has placed until now can be found out over here on the order details. Any important attachments that you would like to attach to your customer account, any extra field that you would like to define, that can be used, user defined fields can be used to define that. Now next we have the inventory management customer master list view. So this is what a detailed customer master list view would look like. We have the next sales management, which is complete order to cash cycle. Now what does sales management do? It will streamline the entire sales process from order to payment, including sales orders, item receipt, purchase orders, returns, AR invoices, incoming payments. Complete sales cycle by raising invoices to your customers with the click of the button. BREWare software helps automate the transactions that happen behind the scenes, so you don't have to manually copy over information from one process to the next. The sales relationship map provides a visual of related documents and a paper trail of any transactions along the way. This is a sales order entry. So this is how you can add a new entry into a sales, like by creating a sales order for any of your customers. So once you put once you create a sales order entry, the auto numbering will help you to define the sales order number. Next we have the customer code, so you can put the customer name. All the details related to this customer will be retrieved from the customer master, including the contact person details, the address of the customer, the shipping details, the accounts payments tab, tax information, will be pulled up from the customer master. Then you can define the delivery date. So the moment you put the quantity that the customer has ordered, a pop-up would come up here to let you know how much stock is available for this particular item into your inventory. So that gives you an idea if you would like to, proceed further with production planning, or you already have enough inventory for the sales order. So if you see over here, we have the base quantity, the available quantity in the inventory. Next is the list view of a sales order. This is the order dashboard wherein you can see past due orders and what are your open sales orders. Again, we have quick grid search over here so that you can find your sales order, plus a keyword based search. The next is check availability inventory. So what is check availability? So check availability is a stock check functionality wherein it evaluates the inventory in each of your warehouses or storage locations and will give you an exact stock on hand quantity of that particular item that you're searching for. Either you can see a list of all the items, plus if you want to find a particular item, you can put this in the grid search and it will pull up the name of that particular item and the warehouse in which it's stored. So if you see here, we have the stock on hand. So what is the current stock on hand right now? How much you have committed to your customers. So the sales orders so the system will count the number of sales orders and the quantity that you've committed to all your customers, and will give you the committed quantity over here. Then ordered, so the uh, how much which order you have placed for purchase, so what raw materials you have purchased, or if a particular product is in production, it will give you the ordered quantity over here. And then it will, after it will calculate the available quantity after the committed and the ordered quantity, and will give you the available quantity. So if you see over here, we have check availability item view batch wise. So this is how you can see batch wise check availability in the system. Which batch has how much quantity, what is the received quantity, what is the issued quantity from the batch. It gives you that number over here. Next, you have the item issue detail. So item issue is a document which helps you to, um, issue the quantity out of your, 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 out stock or out of your system. So you can do an item issue to your customers, or you can do an item issue from one warehouse to another warehouse if you want to transfer your quantity from one location to another. So this is how you can do multiple quantities under one item issue order. So this is the outgoing of raw materials out of the system, or outgoing of products out of the system. So once you do an item issue, the item issue is integrated with the finance module. So when you do an item issue, automatic journal entries gets created. So journal entry of an item issue should be balanced. So this is the AR invoice against sales order. So basically here, so once your sales order needs to be delivered, or it's being delivered, you create a customer invoice and accounts receivable invoice over here. So this is how you can create an AR invoice with reference to the sales order that's being created already. So once you put the sales order reference number, automatically all the details from the sales order will be retrieved onto this AR invoice, and just one click, the AR invoice is being created. The customer is billed for the relevant order in this step. It is directly linked to the finance application, so the automatic journal entries gets created over here. So this is a AR invoice journal entry. It should be balanced. This is the receive payment. So once you have received the payment from the customer, you can record that entry into the receive payment document in the finance module. Receive payment journal entries have been created. Next, we will have the production management. So this is the complete plan to produce cycle. The production management allows you to visualize and actively manage the entire production process, from wort to packaging and everything in between. BREWare eliminates the multi-tab spreadsheets, random web applications, ambiguous handwritten notes used to track production by automatically capturing granular information in real time. You can also define and add any unique additional steps like dry hopping, fruiting, or spicing. So this is a brewery production process. So if you see over here, we have the raw materials that needs uh, for the production of the beer. Then we have optional steps, you have packaging, then different processes, mashing, fermenting, filtering, bottling. Everything can be recorded into the system in the process master. So labor shift management, this is how you can manage the shifts for your labors. So if you see here, you have the shift in time, out time, total shift hours. If there are any extra hours they have worked, that can also be recorded in the system. The attendance dates, the employee codes, their names, and the shift, what shift are they working, day shift, evening shift, second shift, can also be recorded into the system in the shift master. So this is bill of materials management for all the finished products like beer. So if you see over here, we have, this is the recipe management, I would say. So we have the bill of material code, which product is produced over here, what is the quantity of that product, and in what quantity the raw materials are required, or the raw materials are being used to make this Irish cream ale. So if you see here, you have malt extract, yeast, hops, water, priming sugar. So everything can be put in over here with the quantity, the warehouse. So it will give you the total exact figure of the quantity, the price, sorry, right here. Then you have the routing process. So what is a routing process? Routing master is actually a sequence of series, like sequence of processes and machines that are being used for production of that particular item. So if you see here, we have the item name over here. We have all the different processes that will be used for the production of this item. What at what work center will it be performed, and what machines are being used. So that can be defined in the routing master. Then we have the production order. This is how you can create a new production order, or it can be automatically created with material requirement planning wizard. So this is assign QC evaluation. So you have quality control in the system. This is how when you are um, in the production order, when you are actually creating a particular production order for a particular item, you can click on this QC data input, and you can assign the evaluation, like the quality test that needs to be performed after the production of that particular product. So basically, in the production, we will mainly focus on MRP visit. So what is an MRP visit? So basically, when you have received a sales order for 500 items, 500 beer, I would say, and then in your inventory you only have 200 items, for example, then the material requirement planning will run for the remaining 200 items. So if you see here, the material requirement planning considers all the sales orders that have been created. So it's actually recommending a quantity of about 1300. um, the total sales order quantity is 1200. So right now we have a zero quantity in our inventory. I have received a sales order for 1200 quantity, so it's giving me the sales order quantity over here as 1200, plus I have a minimum quantity of 100. So minimum quantity we will define in the item master. So it will count the number of sales order plus the minimum quantity I want to maintain in my inventory, and it will recommend me a quantity of 1300 for the production. So once you run the material requirement planning for those 1200 items, it will by considering the bill of material, the recipe, it will give me purchase requisitions. So how much raw materials I need to buy from my vendors, it will create purchase requisitions, which I can later convert to purchase orders. Plus it will also create production order, like it will plan a production order for those 1300 quantity, which I can then create to or convert to production order. So order recommendation can be converted into production order. Now, if you see over here, executed MRP visit displayed in order recommendation, including the number of production orders and purchase order of the planned product. So production order for remaining quantity auto-generated by MRP wizard. The production plan order is automatically generated by using the production planning wizard. If the finished good required is less than the available stock, then a production plan of the pending quantity to be produced is being generated. So this is 1300 quantity that's being generated. So once the orders are being created, the purchase orders would go to the vendors. Okay, the vendors would receive an email um, with the purchase orders, and will send you the quotations, and then accordingly you can proceed further with the next process. Now the next will be once you have sent this purchase orders, you will receive the item through the item receipt document into the system. Okay, from the vendor. So that will be an item receipt. So your inventory for your raw materials will be up for production process of the finished product. Then you will issue those items to the production unit. So once you've received the raw material, then the items will be issued with reference to the production order that was created to your production unit to start the production of that 1300 quantity for which the production order was created. So this is the item issue against production order. So if you see over here, items such as raw material, SFG, etc. are issued from the inventory as and when required in the production process. The issue can be against the production order, and only child items of the related finished product are issued from the inventory. These items can be pulled from a specific serial or batch number. So, as I said, you can manage your inventory batch wise or serial wise. So once you have issued the items, journal entries against the production order gets created automatically over here. Then you can receive the items. So once you've issued them for production, the production is happening over there, and then you will need to receive the item. So you need to show into your system that the items, that 1300 production quantity is being produced, and now you are um, like receiving those production quantity into your system, and which will up your inventory for those 1300 quantity. So this is item receipt. So this is we are doing over here, we are receiving the item against the production order. So once the production process is complete, the finished goods, that is FG, can be received by the inventory. The in-stock quantity of the furnished good is increased and can be set to delivery to the customers who had placed the order. So this will help us with the delivery of our sales order that was created initially. A new serial or batch number can be assigned to the finished product, but the old numbers from the SFG and RM stay with the item. So basically, you can either do it, just product wise, or by serial wise or batch wise. So you can receive the items batch wise too into the system from your production unit, so you know which batch is ready for departure. Next, we have the procurement. The material planning wizard is used to auto-generate the production plan order and purchase order for the subcomponent of finished product against the production plan order. So this is the complete procure to pay cycle. Central purchasing works with other departments and suppliers to consolidate orders for products and then use economies of scale in order to exact cheaper prices. Additionally, organizations use a central purchasing department in order to simplify a procurement budget or to keep the organization's spending in a centralized location that can be checked for discrepancies easily. So this is, as I said, purchase requisitions are being created. This is the purchase requisition. Next is the list view of a purchase requisition order. Next is purchase order. Purchase order is created for purchasing raw material which will be used in production. So this is what the purchase orders are being created. Now as I said, you're receiving the items into the system with reference to the purchase order that was created by the material requirement planning. Next, we have report. So this is how a TTB report can be generated into the system. BREWare's reports of operations. We have quality control into the system. The quality control analysis tool provides BREWare users with different way to report and visualize the quality control metrics captured throughout production. So this is the complete quality testing. So if you see over here, we have defined different types of tests in order to test the product: fermentable, pH, color, starch, yeast vitality, acetic acid, bitterness. So this everything can be put into the system or recorded into the system. You can define the minimum and the maximum range over here for the quality. So this is how you define test criterias, different product test criterias, and then accordingly you can test the uh, production quality of your items. So in case if you have any inquiries, you can visit our website at www.businesspointers.com, or you can email us at demo@businesspointers.com. Thank you.